And a very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. My name is Bruce Dickey, and I feel like my camera scooted over again. You ever get that feeling that things just aren't the way they're supposed to be, but I don't know. It's just one of those days. Yeah, I've got to scoot myself over to center. There we're better. But yeah, it's our Take the Points edition. As you see, we have it's just me, myself, and I today. The other seat is empty. Give you a little bit better view of it. But today we're going to be talking about that's better. I wonder what the heck happened. That is so weird how that changed on me. It's the strangest thing. But now we're all perfect. Everything's perfect, and we are moving on here on this beautiful Friday, June 21st. Happy first full day of summer. Oh, it feels like it's a fresh, brand new, easy, nice, cool summer day, right? Oh, we'll get some rain sometime. But yeah, about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, the sun crossed touched the Tropic of Cancer. Well, the sun didn't touch the Tropic of Cancer, or we wouldn't be doing this right now. But the sun, the Tropic of Cancer was as close to the sun as it gets. And that means the summer solstice was yesterday, and I appreciate you folks tuning in today here on the 21st. I am told, and I read, that this is the earliest that the first day of summer has been since, I think, 1932, or maybe earlier than that. As adjustments to time are made, it's going to get closer every 4 years, 2028, 2032. It is going to get earlier and earlier and earlier until the year 2100, when they add a few minutes or a few days or something like that and adjust that. That is 76 years from today. Maybe you'll be around. What do they say? They've already, the first 150-year-old person has already been born. Who knows? Might be you. Appreciate you tuning in. What's going on today here on this gorgeous Friday, June? Might be me. I hadn't thought about that. It's a possibility. Friday, June 21st, the Guadalupe Project is open in downtown Flora today at noon. Of course, now the Guadalupe Project helps pregnant folks and folks with young children. If you need a little assistance, it's at 213 East North Avenue in Flora, and they've announced they're going to be open today from 3:30 to 4:30 this afternoon, as well as tomorrow from 8:30 until 9:30 a.m. And then again on Monday from 3:30 to 4:30 again. So Monday and Friday 3:30 to 4:30, and then Saturday 8:30 to 9:30. If you're a parent of young children, or you are welcome to stop by, or if you're expecting young children, please do stop by. All the services are free. Donations can be dropped off any Tuesday from 4 o'clock to 5:30, 4:30 to 5:30. They do a great job down there. Little Miss Laura, formerly Whitehead. I'm not sure what her last name is now. But blood drive also today over at the Xenia City Hall. This will be at 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock this afternoon. And this is an American Red Cross blood drive. It's going to be at the Xenia City Hall. Now, again, this is the one you'd want to go to redcrossblood.org. Redcrossblood.org, and type that in, make yourself an appointment. It's the fastest, slickest, easiest way to donate blood. And goodness knows, there's always a need for blood. In summertime, it gets more desperate because folks are doing other things and they forget to go donate blood. There's no schools having their typical donation blood drives. So this is a good time for you. On Saturday, let's give you a little bit of weekend information. A memorial run at the Flora American Legion, starting at 9:30. The registration starts at 9:30. Kickstands on the motorcycles will go up at 11 o'clock. run will start and finish at the Florida American Legion. Going to be raffles, food, live music. Riders cost $10 a piece and a $5 for passengers. This is a wonderful way to help those folks fund their auxiliary events and do the good stuff that the folks at the American Legion they do. How about go to Clay City tomorrow night, 7 p.m. It's a free movie. Hey, that'll work. It's at the Clay City Ballpark. You know where that is, up there on the northwest side of town, northeast side of town, heading toward Noble. The Clay City Civics will be presenting the movie The Sandlot Saturday night. Again, it is at 7 o'clock at the Clay City Ballpark. Movie is free and will be shown at dark. Concessions open at 7 o'clock. Probably won't start the movie till 8. It'll get, sunset is 8:30 tomorrow night, 8:15. Also, Bill Schroed was here earlier this week. Talked about the field day, the big ARRL field day event. Starts at noon on Saturday at various locations. I know that Effingham had a location, Albany has a location, Lawrenceville has a location, Salem, probably Mount Vernon had a location. Don't think Salem did. Ham radio operators from the ARRL Section 5 in Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin, as well as nationwide, will all be participating in a national amateur radio exercise from noon on Saturday to 1 o'clock on Sunday. Field Days highlights ham radio's ability to work reliably under any conditions from almost any location. During the field day 3 years ago, for instance, more than 26,000 ham radio operators participated from thousands of locations across North America. So that's pretty cool. What else is going on Saturday? Got 2 or 3 other really fun, cool things to tell you about on Saturday night. Over in Grayville. Now, if you're in Browns, if you're watching in Browns or Albion or Mount Carmel area, you can get down to Grayville. Granted, I know we're not quite to Grayville yet. We're close. Well, but actually, we might be into Grayville now a little bit. But we're getting close. It's going to be the Friends of Grayville Hog Roast on Saturday, starting at 5 o'clock, run until 8 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, the Duke Boys. Have you ever seen the Duke Boys? Everybody loves them. They play that 50s, 60s, 70s jams. Meals by donation. It's going to be a car cruise in, inflatables. It's on the square in Graywell, and not really the square, the main drag in downtown Grayville. There's going to be a beer tent put on by the Grayville Moose. I know some of those fellas in the Grayville Moose. That's going to be some fun. Those guys know how to hang out, that's for sure. Soda is going to be put together by the Go-Getters 4-H Club, the Grayville Go-Getters 4-H Club doing the sodas, as well as desserts. Who better to handle the desserts for the Grayville Hog Roast than the Grayville Senior Center? Those ladies and gentlemen and ladies, they know exactly. They've got the experience on making the outstanding desserts. So that's all on Saturday night. 5 o'clock is when the Duke Boys kick off. Also, a ham and bean dinner. Over in Salem. Who doesn't want ham and beans on a 95-degree day? Well, oh yeah, that's the way to go. That's at 300 South Broadway. I think this is for the firehouse. That's where the firehouse is, right? So yeah, it's $8 for adults. Children are 6 to 12 or $5. 5 and under, free. There you go. Take the whole family. Throw them a $20, $25, $30. You get everybody get a belly full and have a good time. One other thing to tell you about, and I've told you about it numerous times, it started on Thursday night, running tonight, running Saturday, running Sunday, the Moccasin Creek Festival up there on Lake Sarah, put on by Poss Music Works, Bill Passalacqua and the gang. Just a wonderful job. I believe Aaron Lee Tasjan is playing on Thursday night. Shiny Ribs, the big stars on Saturday. All kinds of wonderful. I don't think I've got I don't believe I have. No, I didn't get a poster this year. But yeah, the Moxon Creek Festival is this weekend. Folk song, folk music, bluegrass music, alt country, roots rock, as well as blues, all kinds of Americana music. It's just a wonderful event. Food and beverages are sold on site. You want to bring a lawn chair and you want to sit, find your spot, and you can sit there all weekend long and just make a great time of it. Free beach as well as a disc golf course within walking distance and a golf course just off the road. Boats, canoes, and kayaks for rent. They've got everything you need, as it's just 5 miles from Effingham out there on beautiful Lake Sarah. What else going on today, ladies and gentlemen? This one's worth celebrating. Ladies and gentlemen, June 21st each year is National Wagyu Day. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I have had the Wagyu meat, but I'm not certain how to say it. This is to celebrate the delicacy of Wagyu. Let's call it Wagyu, and spread awareness about the rigorous authentication process taken for Wagyu meat for an entire day, celebrating alongside steak and beef enthusiasts, plus encouraging everyone to experience the delicious taste of the finest beef in the world. National Wagyu Day invites seasoned Wagyu connoisseurs as well as first-timers to celebrate the delicacy of Wagyu, in addition to the distinction being Japanese, American, and Australian. Wagyu are known as well. The authentication process, authenticating it's a complex process with strict regulations and controls. You know, you can kind of tell. You say, Bruce, what do you mean, Wagyu beef? Wouldn't that be like prime or choice or something like that, like we have in the U.S.? Well, there's a Wagyu beef in the U.S. as well, but the meat is different because the feed is different for cattle. And here, take a look at that. You see that marbling? That's the thing. The marbling process. Wagyu means Japanese cattle. Refers to 4 specific breeds of beef cattle that originated in Japan. These unique breeds of cattle produce a type of marbled beef that have an extreme tenderness and a rich, savory flavor when cooked. In fact, the tenderness of the meat creates a melt-in-your-mouth experience. Raising cattle in America differs from how the Japanese raise them, but Wagyu cattle, it's a wonderful meal. Wagyu cattle receive spa treatments. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. Wagyu cattle receive spa treatments in Japan, and in fact, daily brushing, massages, and skin treatments to minimize stress and promote better marbling. They have a national competition each year where breeders compete for prestigious awards. Wagyu fat is healthier for the human body than olive oil or even a fillet of salmon. Would I lie to you? Would I lie to you? Oh, I would not. Wagyu cattle dates back almost 35,000 years and was originally used for agricultural purposes, such as plowing fields and pulling carts. Again, 4 main types of Wagyu: Japanese black, Japanese brown, Japanese polled, and Japanese short horn. Now you know. Have you ever had Wagyu? I have. It is, when it says melt in your mouth, they ain't a kidding. It's almost a little bit too fatty. It's quite rich. It's quite rich. What else is today, ladies and gentlemen? National Peaches and Cream Day. There you go. Observed annually on June 21st. National Peaches and Cream Day recognizes a sweet way to eat ripened peaches. It's also a perfect way to begin and end the summer solstice. So hopefully you started yesterday. Peaches and cream is a simple, traditional, delicious summertime dessert. The Georgia peach is in season during June, as are those grown in Florida, California, South Carolina. Of course, the ones up here, they probably won't come in, be in season until, late July, early August. It depends probably as the summers get warmer. They might be coming into season a little bit earlier. I don't know. We'll pay attention as that gets closer. Keep it a good eye out for them. As what is your favorite kind of peach? I don't have a clue what my favorite kind of peach is. Well, actually, I don't know the name of it, but I do have a favorite kind of peach. It's a white one, or white peaches with like very little fuzz, and you just eat them like an apple. So good. What else going on today? Ladies and gentlemen, the first Friday after Father's Day, it's National Take Your Dog to Work Day. How about that? Every year on the Friday after Father's Day, employees across the country bring their dogs to work on National Take Your Dog to Work Day, a celebration of the companionship between canine and human. This day hopes to inspire all kinds of folks to adopt from shelters and humane societies. Not only pet companies are dog-friendly, tech and marketing companies also joining into the fun. Amazon, Airbnb, Procore Technologies, Vungle, Radio Systems Corporations are just a few, along with Petco, PetSmart, Nestle, Purina Pet Care, all those ones informing and encouraging National Take Your Dog. Well, that old fellow's got himself a chocolate lab there to keep him company. So what are the pros of a pet-friendly policy? Number one benefit of dog at work is the reduced stress for most employees. Also, employees who take a break to care for their dog tend to be more productive than those who plow through their work. How about that? Employees are healthier with their dogs because they're both getting more physical activity. That makes sense. Pet also gets more social interaction. Dogs bring a morale boost to the entire office, and pet-friendly businesses retain their employees longer and are more attractive to future employees. That makes a ton of sense. Are there some cons? I suspect there are. You want to make sure that people with phobias aren't affected, phobias or allergies. And I do know people who have both. Risk of injuries, you don't want people to accidentally fall over a dog. You make sure the dog is well led, and make sure the dog cleans up, or not the dog cleans up, make sure the owners clean up if there is an issue with the dog. And with dogs, there is occasionally an issue. When did this start? This started back in 1999. Pet Sitters International founded this first day in the United States. So this is the 25 years of a National Take Your Dog to Work Day on the first Friday after Father's Day. That just makes sense. What do you want to see on television, ladies and gentlemen? Major League Baseball. Cardinals aren't playing today. They played last night against the Giants down in Rickwood Field in Birmingham. And we'll talk a little bit in a little while about Willie Mays. But the Mets will be in Chicago this afternoon at 1:20. It is Jose Quintana versus Shota Imanaga on Marquee, Channel 597. The White Sox at the Tigers at 5:40 tonight. Eric Fetty versus Jack Flaherty getting the call for the Tigers. Attaboy, Jack. Good luck to you. Channel 643. MLB Network tonight. The Dodgers host the Angels. It is Patrick Sandoval for the Angels versus Dodgers haven't named it yet. And Stanley Cup final is tonight. I'll mention it a little later in the show. But the Panthers lead 3-2 going up to Edmonton. That game is at 7 o'clock. Euro soccer today at 8 a.m. It's almost over by now if you're watching this at 9. Slovakia versus Ukraine. That's on something called Fubo. However, at 11 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, Poland takes on Austria, and at 2 on Fox, it's the Netherlands versus France. We're going to get into all that here in just a minute. You're watching Big Talk. Back right after this. Stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Chapman's Furniture has the best prices every day. You can find them open Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5 and located at 210, 300, and 306 West Main Street in Salem. Chapman's features a full line of furniture, including Ashley Furniture, bedding by Sealy and Bimco, and the largest selection of rugs in Southern Illinois. They have a huge selection of recliners, including lift and power, and wallpaper and border in stock at closeout prices. Call 618-548-2221 for the best price around.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talks. Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Cats TV. Appreciate you tuning in. This is this week's Take the Points show, sports show. Just me today. Going to talk about a little bit about hockey in a while. Going to talk baseball. A lot of baseball to talk about. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics and Boston Celtics fans for winning the NBA championship the other night. So we just talked a little basketball as well. So yeah, how about that? What else is going on? You remember last week we had the U.S. Open in golf. And usually I bring up a banner to show you how we did the Take the Points gang. Well, this year on the U.S. Open, we bet $20 each, right, is how it works on the shows. We ended up getting almost all of that back, maybe a little bit more. Well, now, we don't share it equally. Weeze lost $20 and Lucas lost $20. I had a good tournament. I had Tony Finau in the top 10, I believe was the bet, and Hideki Matsuyama in the top 20, and had $5 bet on both of those. That ended up paying in total about $55, $60. I bet $20 total. But I'll take that. That's pretty good, D. That's a pretty good weekend. I'll take that. And also, Jamie bet on he bet on Rory McIlroy to make the top 10. That's the easiest bet of the week. Rory McIlroy, boy, second place. Bryson DeChambeau, they each missed putts coming down. They each missed easy putts coming down the pike. But DeChambeau makes that wild. He makes that wild 2 shots on 18 that he shouldn't have been able to do, and he won that thing doggone it outright, and enough outright that he made Rory McIlroy quit and leave, and he didn't talk to the press. Very angry. All that to bring up this. This is what's going on this weekend. The Travelers Championship. If you did watch the U.S. Open, you saw Scotty Scheffler. He did not make the top 20 of the U.S. Open. He barely made the cut. He is still 3-1, basically 3.5-1 to win against a very good field at the Travelers. This is one of those tournaments that used to be, it used to be just a fill out on the field of the season in the PGA. They've made this a PGA Plus event or something, I believe is what it's called, and it boosts the money. So they get all the big names, and they were supposed to get Rory McIlroy as well, but like I said, Bryson DeChambeau made him quit, and he went back to England or Northern England to wait for the Scottish Open. He wanted to defend his title in the Scottish Open. Who else looks interesting here? I got to tell you, and only brought the first page. Xander Schauffele's playing pretty well. Patrick Cantlay had a great U.S. Open. Can he keep that going? That might be the one to look at. I haven't checked out the scores. I'm shooting this Thursday afternoon. I have not yet checked out the scores for that, but if I had to make a pick, we didn't make show picks this week. But if I was going to throw $5 on somebody, it might be Cantlay to win. Oh, what would that be? $5 on Cantlay to win 80? That'll work, right? No, that'd be to win 100. That's even better. Yeah, I like that. I would do that. What else is going on this weekend, ladies and gentlemen? How about, let's see, where is that one? The Men's College World Series is going on this weekend. It's down to Tennessee and Texas A&M. You can see how they've both blown right through their brackets. Neither team took a loss in their brackets all week long. My team, Kentucky, got knocked out by Texas A&M first and then Florida second. And then, but A&M is rolling along. They've only given up 5 runs? No, not even that. They are playing exceedingly well. Tennessee playing exceedingly well, as they gave up 11 in that first game to Florida State. Since then, they've played better, knocking off North Carolina and then knocking off Florida State. So it's going to be a real good matchup. It's a best of 3 starting there on Saturday afternoon. If you're looking to bet on that, Tennessee probably is minus money, but either way, it's a lot of fun. The other one I was going to talk about, I think it popped up there a minute ago. Here is the Euro, the soccer that is going on. That's one look at it. Here is another look at the how that works. So there are 24 teams playing in the next 2 or 3 weeks to knock it down to 16 teams, and then they'll have a knockout matches. They've already played about the first half of the pool play in the tournament. Here's how that has gone. Group A, Germany has already, they haven't won the group with Switzerland. They still have to play Switzerland. But they have, Germany is really good. They will advance. Switzerland most likely will advance as well if they get a tie. Scotland would have to beat Hungary and move forward. Spain and Italy. Spain beat Italy on Thursday afternoon, so Spain now with 6 points, Italy with just 3, and as that one was before this graphic was made. Denmark has 2 now, as this was made before the graphic was made too. Denmark and England tied on Thursday. Serbia and Slovenia also tied on Thursday. So England leads 4-2-1 in Group C. The Netherlands and France will play later this week. They play today, right, on this Friday. And then you've got the Group E and Group F. It all. I figured I'd let you all take a look at a cute dog again before, since you probably didn't come here to hear about soccer. Let's take a look at a cute dog. That's the nice way to send us to a commercial. Again, take your dog. Look at the dogs wearing glasses. How do you get the prescription right on the dog wearing glasses? See, I mean, that's the toughest thing when you go to an eye doctor, is which one's better or worse. You ask him, bark, don't bark. And how does he know which one means better and which one means worse? Who knows? We'll be back to talk about some baseball right after these words. Stick around.
Hi, my name is Landon Carter, and I'm a financial consultant at Benjamin F. Edwards in Flora. Whether you're planning to send a loved one to school, preparing for retirement, or passing your wealth to the next generation, we have the knowledge and perspective to implement financial strategies that will help you move smoothly through life's transitions. Here at Edwards, our clients know that we are fully invested in their financial future. To find out more, call Duke and I invite you to give us a call at 618-508-8050. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
For service beyond the surface, call Carter Trucking in Fairfield. Carter's trucks are ready to haul your big freight and grain. So whatever you call Jeremy Carter, the Mucho Mulcho Man, the driveway doctor, the gravel guru, the pothole pirate, the rockin' redneck, the smooth operator, the mudhole master, or the happy hauler, just call him. 842-2022 to haul your big freight, grain, and more with trucks from Carter Trucking, Williamson Drive in Fairfield.
Thank you, Mr. Conductor, for starting the music up again. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey on Take the Points Day. It's our weekly look at the sports. Tough loss this week in the world of sports to people probably older than me. A lot of folks, and that's demographically, a lot of baseball fans, they skew older. Willie Mays passed away earlier this week. He was going to be honored Thursday night at the Rickwood Field where he played Negro League baseball back in 1948. He played in 1948 down at Rickwood, about 10 or 15 games for the, I guess that was the Birmingham Barons probably at that time. That's still the Birmingham Barons. But Willie Mays passed away at the age of 93. And my first thought, I heard the news. I was driving back from Olney the other night, and I have to admit it is terrifically sad, but it's kind of what one's brain goes through whenever you hear of a passing of somebody who was so highly regarded as Willie Mays in baseball. Well, he was known as the greatest living ball player, and it's kind of a fun nomenclature to try to, and it's certainly all subjective, to figure out who is now the greatest living ball player. I took this from I took a lot of this, what I'm going to talk about, from Joe Posnanski's column this week about the greatest living ball player and how that nomenclature came around. The first time anybody ever mentioned a greatest living ball player was 1887. 140 years ago almost, that folks have been trying to determine who the greatest living ball player is. And that was a long way back, and and whenever he said who the name was, I didn't recognize the name, which I admit I feel bad. I should have recognized the name. Ned Williamson, Chicago Cubs third baseman. He hit 27 home runs one year, and that record held up until Babe Ruth beat that record in the 1920s. So Ned Williamson, the original greatest living ball player. And when he passed away, it was before Babe Ruth got really popular and really famous and really good. Ty Cobb basically said he took the title. He says, "I'm the greatest living ball player." He took it away from Honus Wagner, and he basically, that was kind of a given. Now it's an entirely subjective thing. It really only applies to, when you think of ball players, you think of hitters. You don't think hitters and fielders. You don't really think of pitchers. That's entirely a different thing. So let's throw all the pitchers out. Let's throw Pedro Martinez. We'll throw Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson, Cy Young out of the conversation. No, we're not going to. Sandy Koufax might have a place in somebody's heart as the greatest current living ball player. We're throwing him out. Sorry, Sandy, you're gone. After Ty Cobb died in 1961, the name really didn't become, it didn't get grabbed by anybody. It wasn't really, there was never a real gigantic choice for it until 1969. In 1969, there was a survey of the Baseball Writers of America to name the greatest ball player ever. Greatest at each position, and living or dead, and it's kind of interesting. Ty Cobb was at that time the greatest living. Pardon me, he was the greatest left fielder of all time. Ted Williams was still living. Williams was the best living ball player. By the way, Willie Mays is the final best living player to pass away from the list in 1969. That just goes to show you, they called him the best living right fielder back in 1969. He didn't even play right field. The reason they did that, because he tied with Joe DiMaggio, and Joe DiMaggio played center field, and Willie said, well, no, Joe DiMaggio beat him by a vote or two. So Joe DiMaggio got the best living center fielder. They moved Willie Mays over to right field. And so Joe DiMaggio took that. He was named on both living and dead. So he takes the mantle of greatest living ball player, Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio insisted on being called the greatest living ball player. Whenever he was introduced at anything, when he was being introduced at a card show, when he was being introduced at the chicken dinner, who knows, some kind of show, or even on a talk show, he required the introduction, greatest living ball player, before he'd go out and talk. That's kind of how Joe was. He was a regal, royal type of guy. After Joe DiMaggio died, it was kind of a given, and Willie Mays never required it. Willie Mays never required people to lay down at his feet as the greatest living ball player. But he was. It can be argued. He spent a year two in the military. He would have probably beaten Babe Ruth's record before Henry Aaron did, had he not gone into the military. He was also maybe the best defensive center fielder ever. So Willie Mays was it. Now that Willie Mays has passed, Who do you pick as the greatest living ball player? The immediately, I'll come back to him. The immediate thought goes to Barry Bonds. He has the numbers of home runs. He's got all the RBIs. He was undeniable the best, most fearsome hitter of his time. But that whole doggone steroids bugaboo kind of jumps in the way. That really hurts him. How about Ken Griffey Jr.? There are arguments to be made for Ken Griffey Jr. as defensively he certainly fits the mold. When he had his most effective time, before he got hurt, was back in the 90s. He only had about a 10, 12-year run before the injuries really started mounting up on Ken Griffey. Let's bring up Rickey Henderson. Rickey Henderson he leads the world in runs scored. He leads the world in stolen bases, and isn't that the goal of the game? Score runs. He wasn't the best defensive player. But he was an outstanding outfielder, or an unbelievable leadoff hitter. Certainly the best leadoff hitter in the history of the game. Certainly, I think anybody would say that. By the way, there's Albert Pujols. I'm putting Albert in, to make myself feel better. I think a lot of folks would think that Albert would have had an opportunity to maybe be one of the best ball players ever if he hadn't gone to California. If he'd have stayed with the Cardinals, played first base, and stayed on defense, he was a great defensive first baseman before the injuries took a toll on him and he became a designated hitter. He was a great first baseman. And of course, the hitting numbers for the 10 years in St. Louis are undeniably maybe the best 10 years of anybody's ever in the hitting in the history of the sport. Here is a look at the WAR figures. Wins against replacements. Babe Ruth leads wins above replacements by quite a bit over the next hitter, over Barry Bonds. Of course, Babe Ruth's dead. You look at this list, this is the top 30 all time, and this is Baseball Reference's version of WAR, which is different from other people's versions of WAR. You look in this top 30, there are only about half a dozen, maybe a few still alive. Mike Schmidt makes the top 25 in that. There's Albert Pujols, number 29. You've got Rickey Henderson at number 19. He's still alive and kicking. But when you look at hitters, there aren't that many on that list alive. You've got Barry Bonds. You've got, like I said, Schmidt. You've got Pujols. You've got Henderson. And Alex Rodriguez up at number 16. I don't have a picture of Alex Rodriguez to show you because for one, I don't like him, and he's a steroid user too. They're both, he and Bonds never got busted, but Bonds was a steroid user. Everybody around him was. So, I mean, it was, and his head went this big. So, it's subjective. Who do you think is the greatest living ball player? I feel terrible that I have to say this. I hate to do it. I'm going to call Rickey Henderson the greatest living ball player. And the thing is, if I don't call Rickey Henderson the greatest living ball player, Rickey, he'll call himself the greatest living ball player. It's subjective. You pick your own. Let me know if you're interested. Give me a call or email me or whatever you want to do. Bruce D at wabash.net or Bruce.Dickey at wabash.coop. Make your own choice. I can be swayed. I'm not it's Willie just died. It's difficult to make a quick choice. I know somebody said Pete Rose. That's a thought. We'll be back, talk a little bit more current baseball after these. Stick around. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local Hankook tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
I'm just sitting here thinking about Ricky Henderson. Weeze is going to love it, love the choice, but and I would vote. I mean, I'm not one of the sticklers about steroids. I would vote for. I would vote Clemens and Bonds and all those guys into the Hall of Fame. I have no problem with steroids being steroid users being in the Hall of Fame, because there are people in there right now that used steroids or used performance enhancing drugs that just. They were permitted at the time. Who knows? Babe Ruth liked hot dogs as a performance-enhancing drugs. I'm just teasing, of course. But no, it's up in the air. It's up in the air. The greatest living ball player. Let's take a look at what about what it looks like right now. We're almost halfway through the season. The Yankees up there have played 76 games. And they're still way over 650. That's amazing. They and the Orioles both are plugging along at over 650. The Guardians and Minnesota Twins also over 550. You've got the Mariners, the only ones over 500 out west. How about in the National League? Phillies keep plugging along, still over 650 themselves. Brewers, 14 games over 500. The only team in the Central Division over 500. The Cardinals found their way there, but now they've got to work their way past that, and they've got about 85 games to catch the Brewers. Then the Dodgers are another four teams under 500 in that division. There are only, if you look at that, only 4 teams in the National League that are over 500. That is astonishing to me, as it should be astonishing to anybody who's been a baseball fan for a long time. 6 teams are going to get in the playoffs from those. Who knows if the rest of them have a chance. And I got to tell you, you look at the odds in Vegas, they don't give any of them a chance except the top 3. Well, there's the American League. How about the National League? Dodgers plus 150 to win the National League pennant. Phillies won the 275, Braves at 325, and then it drops all the way down to 10-1 for the Brewers. 10-1 for the Brewers to win the National League, and then the Cubs ahead of the Cardinals. This was just today that I took this. Cardinals still 35-1 to win the NL, while the Cubs are 14-1. You can still bet that Cardinal number if you're fired up about it. I don't see why. Well, actually, that's not a bad number if you compare it to. I'll show you the what the National League Central is. Well, where to go? No, it's on my next set. Here's what the World Series current odds look like. Dodgers are still 3-1, and that has not changed since their best offensive player got hurt this week. Mookie Betts is out for 2 months. Pardon me. He broke his wrist or his hand on a hit by pitch, and what kind of surprises me is that the Orioles are 8-1 to win the World Series. Yankees are 5-1. That's actually pretty high as well. I would have thought the Yankees would have a better number than that. Here's what the American League looks like going into that: the Yankees and the Orioles, and then it's everybody else fighting for scraps. Who knows? This is all, of course, it's speculation by gamblers right now. I don't know if they're right. Speaking of speculation by gamblers, here's the current numbers on the Conn Smythe. Connor McDavid, a 2-1 favorite to win the Conn Smythe, and his team is not going to win the trophy. You know how difficult it is to win the MVP of the playoffs? If you don't win the trophy, it's tremendously difficult. I think it's only been done once or twice in hockey. It's never been done in basketball. I'm going to come back. I've got a few more bets to talk about. A few more. Let's talk about some awards in Major League Baseball when we come back. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back in a sec.
Fashion is our passion at Carnaby Square. We specialize in customer service and have since 1980. Our multi-generational boutique features your favorite on-trend to classic Famous Maker fashions, footwear, accessories, and a massive inventory of Brighton. So come, relax, explore, and elevate your look with us. Everyone is welcome, where we always wrap it, tag it, and bag it for free at Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
Napa Know-How.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa Know-How experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
By the way, if you're wondering, Here are the other choices from 1969 as the best players in the game, living and dead. And then they made a mistake. It's 1969. Right-handed pitcher, best all-time, Walter Johnson. Best living, Bob Feller. He died in 2010. Left-handed pitcher, Lefty Grove, pitched for the Yankees. Lefty Grove was living at that time, so he was both of those. Mickey Cochran, the catcher, best all-time, Bill Dickey, living. I bet you if that was voted today, it'd be Johnny Bench, of course, for the living. And I don't know if Yogi Berra would get on there. Best all-time might be Johnny Bench. Well, Johnny Bench would be the best all-time catcher. That's just, there's no doubt. Johnny Bench he might be the best all-time living ball player as well. That argument can be made as well. First baseman, George Sisler and Stan Musial. Stan Musial living. Second base, Rogers Hornsby and Charlie Gehringer living. Pie Traynor was the best third baseman living. He died in 1972. I think Mike Schmidt would pretty easily win that award now as best third baseman of all time. He or Brooks Robinson? Probably Schmidt because he was a better hitter and he was a pretty good fielder. If you look at shortstop, Hannes Wagner as the all-time, Joe Cronin for the living. I don't think Cronin would get a vote today, but I don't know who you'd take. If you take Kyle Ripken, if you take Ozzie Smith, if you take Alex Rodriguez. Heck, there'd be idiots vote for Derek Jeter. Oh, gosh, there would. Left field, Ty Cobb and Ted Williams. Center field, Joe DiMaggio, and Babe Ruth in right field, as well as Willie Mays. Those, of course, back from 1969. Here's the ones I was going to show you. The National League Central, the Cubs, what did it say? 14-1 to win the pennant. Or to win the World Series, and the Cardinals were like 30 or something like that. Cardinals have a better number to win the Central. That doesn't make any sense at all. If this is from Bet Rivers, here's what the American League Central looks like. These are the two closest divisions in gambling numbers right now. And since I'm throwing a bunch of numbers and stuff at you anyway, let's go ahead and throw the MVP, most valuable player numbers. I was here's the American League. Aaron Judge, even money, basically, an even money choice to win MVP. This with over half the season to go. He's having a great year, but boy, oh boy, Juan Soto is also carrying the Yankees as well. Those two guys having just an outstanding season. Gunnar Henderson carrying the Orioles, the second best team. A lot can happen between now and the end of the season. Heck, I wouldn't mind 90-1 on Adley Rutschman. He's really good as well. How about the National League? With Mookie hurt, you see what Mookie bets fell all the way down to 25-1. It's basically Shohei Ohtani's to lose. I think Bryce Harper has a good chance, but Shohei Ohtani, those writers just love him, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why the writers love Shohei so much. This is the same reason they love Fernando Tatis. He's 10-1. Mookie Betts, even with him missing 2 months, ought to be ahead of Fernando Tatis. Tatis having a good year, but boy, oh boy, that doesn't make a ton of sense. Freddie Freeman at 8-1, that's a little low. How about the Brewers catcher, William Contreras, at 20-1? He has made a charge in the numbers. Then you take a look also at the Rookie of the Year. If does anybody float your boat? Looks like Louis Gill is going to win it. He's the pitcher. He's having an outstanding year. And then how about the National League? Shota Imanaga already almost even money, but Paul Skeens is catching up in a hurry. I was really surprised Mason Wynn was 40-1. I would have thought Mason Wynn would have had better numbers than that, better than 40-1. he's having a wonderful year for the Cardinals, and he is just maybe folks don't see it since the Cardinals are only at 500. I don't know. There you go, folks. Throwing a lot of stuff at you today. The quiz is coming up next week. No, it's summertime. You don't get quizzes. But appreciate y'all tuning in, and enjoy the soccer, enjoy the golf, enjoy the baseball, enjoy the hockey tonight. I think Florida ends it tonight, but we'll see. Or get out and do your own golfing and hockeying and stuff. Enjoy your weekend, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Have a great weekend. See you next time.